All right, guess what? We're going to have to pay attention because it's either a July 4th rally and, we're getting a little bit of fireworks early, but it looks like we're getting a little bit of upside action. And even I myself, the bear is starting to turn a little bit here. We'll talk all about it with Joel Elconin. You guys first, smash the like. Let's go, guys. It's about to be July 4th. Let's start celebrating. Let's go.
All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
Three consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
Freedom. What's up, Joel?
We're ripping.
We are ripping, man. We are ripping. It's a green day. I had a red day alert this week. Let's go back to the green life, man.
Yeah. Constructive price action here. Okay. And
let me see the charts. Let me see the charts because I know you're gonna get ahead. You're gonna start talking about the good action.
Do all the talking, and then you're gonna.
Then we're gonna miss all the good stuff.
So here you go. Right. I didn't do share. What the hell did I do there? So this, what am I doing? Oh, because I'm on the wrong thing.
You're rocking on, man. No worries.
All right. So what happened was, and the only reason I just had that teeny, itsy bitsy, teeny weeny bullish feeling is they tried to bust this market and take out that low from Thursday. You know that I'm a pretty simple technical. Support, resistance, double close, double top,
super
double
simple, super simple.
Yep. They tried to do it this morning or overnight, and they got rejected big time. They tried it again. Okay. This is the intraday chart. They tried it again, the 1030 turn, and they couldn't do it. So, yeah, a double bottom ahead of this bottom. Is it a major bottom? Well, we'll see what shenanigans they pull on Sunday and Monday. Remember, Sunday night, the futures are open at 6 p.m. and they'll trade till 1 p.m. on Saturday. So we'll keep an eye on that. We've come all the way back. We've taken out the high from yesterday. We're currently right at that at 25 even. It looks like we're still going to lose about 90 handles on the week, but as opposed to taking out that 37.41, which was a definite possibility this morning, I think that this is a halfway decent day. Crude, only a $5 range. It's up 261 at 108.37. Gold up $1.50, 1808.80 after that dip under 1800. Silver, that's still under $20. That's down 53 cents at 1982. Bitcoin not participating a little bit, I guess, on a percentage, up 480 at 19,240. And Ethereum futures, they're up 4% at 1056. That's $42 for the Bitcoin futures.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's get into maybe some topics, but definitely I myself, and I'm starting to feel a little bit like today feels like a little bit stronger than usual, at least what I've seen around. We'll take a look at, I'll maybe take a look at some market breadth data in a little bit to kind of touch that. But let's get into the economical data that we got in today, which was the ISM manufacturing for June. This came in at 53 versus a 54.9 estimate. Prior was 56.1. So coming in a little bit weaker than expected. This is the lowest reading also since June 2020. So more of that comments. I think you even hear none of these, like a bunch of these comments, like 2020 numbers, but I mean, that's kind of hard to relate to. ISM new orders index fell to 49.2 from 55.1, showing a contraction for the first time since May 2020. And then construction spending month over month for May coming actually in at a loss of 0.1% when 0.4 was the estimate there. So a little bit more slowdown than expected there in the housing. I think that's one thing to definitely keep on watch with real estate. But I mean, real estate was actually the strongest sector for me from the open. So kind of interesting to mention that. But I always like to see where the relative strength is. And it looked like it was in real estate today, pushing strong here. So
Yeah, I think, a lot of data there. And the market reacts to it. I mean, there's really good reactions off those numbers. Maybe Pump and Powell is gonna have to pump the brakes here a little bit. Maybe he got the slowdown, maybe the inflation he wanted. Your TLT, do you have a major bottom there? That reflects, the bonds and rates. So, getting some I guess weak data is good data, because maybe if we get the Fed to back off, looking at your TLT there. So if the Fed, once he, and I heard other people say this, if he flips the switch at all, and only we're not going to go keep going 3/4, or we're not going to do a half, that's gonna put a bid behind the market. So that's what you get from the data. Trading at the highs of the session here, folks. 38.28.
All right, we can go ahead and get into some stocks today. Let's take a look, of course, at Micron. A lot of people were keeping their eyes on it today. It is ending the day coming back here a little bit here.
Yeah, yeah, yep. Just I don't know if y'all listen to the morning show or not. Um, you know, Dennis made a pretty good at analogy on a comparison. Um, the stocks stop going down on bad news. I mean, it's bad. It's a horrible day. It makes a new low for the move. Is this a major turning point? Is this a bottom for Micron? I have no idea. It is a very cyclical stock, but you never got to the pre-market low. I was hoping to get a look at $50. You didn't do that. You didn't quite get into yesterday's range yet. You haven't quite filled the gap, but you're trying to. So Micron's always been like a squirrely stock. I don't really you know, I mean, I don't think that as much as a bellwether for the market is like your Apple or your Amazon, which is having a good day. Look at Spoos. They're calling for 38.30 here,
Coming
29 and a
fast,
half.
man.
Yeah.
The
Um,
machines are on.
I mean, look at this. I mean, this Amazon chart. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
I mean, okay, COVID lows were down here.
doesn't want to break
I
down
mean,
there.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there's always risk reward ratios and everything. But just what he was doing, the whole narrative that he put out was good. As far as did they not kill the stock? Can't say the same for your favorite store, Kohl's. It did go down to 27.65. That's down 20%. Um, I don't know. I just shake my head at them turning down that offer for that company. But uh,
Yeah.
this one, if I had to dip my toe in one or the other, and probably just based on today's price action, it would be Micron. But they're two totally different companies.
Yeah, I don't think there's much to say about that decline in Coles, but I mean, it wasn't only in Coles. We did get some intraday also getting hit on Dillard's. Did you see that fall in Dillard's of down about 5.5? So it looks like they came after Dillard's after KSS. That looked like a good little drop there for me.
Look at Dillard's, man. That stock is dangerous. You should even have that thing on your screen, man. I don't even want to trade a stock with a D or an S in it because I don't want to get caught. Look at that thing, 340 to 210.
Yeah,
Holy mackerel!
long-term trend lines when they break, man, they break.
We are ripping. We are now going to challenge Wednesday's high. Who would have thunk it? 38.40. That's Wednesday's high. I got nothing for you in the 38.30 handle. Let's see if we can get to Wednesday's high, 38.40. We got 19 minutes left. So, hey, Mitch, why don't you bring up a stock that we're going to make everyone like all over their desk when we mentioned it is me and you were talking about the chart. We were talking about the technicals on it, and it's just you talk about a dog with fleas in the greatest bull market of all time. Tell folks what stock we were looking at.
Well, this might be a stock that you even forgot exists out there. So first things first, I want to give it to the chat a second to maybe give some guesses what the stock is. One thing I will say is maybe if you're watching, I did see Stephanie Link mention this on CNBC. So just to give you a little
Okay. All
background,
right.
I
Okay.
was taking one of the things is listening to where the cash flow is, where the good business is. So there you go. We're starting to get some guesses in the chat.
Yeah,
They're starting to
it's
think
an
about
old
it.
stock.
It's an
I
old one. It's
the
an
only one
oldie.
that may get
Where's
it,
Bill? Where's
the
Bill?
only one that may get it is Spinner. He's the only one that might get it.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see.
No. This is a dog with fleas. It's been around a long time.
And one of the things with this company is that, it's just not the sexy name, but right now we're not looking for sexy. We are looking for what? We're looking at the cash flow and seeing that. What is that
Yes.
pointing up to?
No, it's not GE and it's not Intel. I'm like stuck on Intel.
There you go. We'll give you 5
There
more
we go.
seconds.
Debbie Briggs.
Debbie
Briggs has got-
coming on in. I wanted to give him a chance. There you go. You know what, Debbie? Reach out to me. I got to get you some Benzinga swag for that answer. Reach out to me and Mitch at Benzinga. We'll work something out, Debbie. I'll get you something. There you go. That's what I like to see there. IBM, yes, mentioned. First thing I got to say is when long-term, I said this before on that chart that we just saw, when long-term trend lines break, a lot of times we get some downfall on the downside. Here's the opposite that we're looking at, potentially a long-term trend line that could break to the upside.
I mean, you talk. What was it their last quarter that was pretty good? What was here? Was this earnings here? I think this was an earnings pop.
Let me take
And
a look
then,
at that. I'll let you know right
I
now.
think it was. I think it was an earnings pop. It was April 19th, and it succumbed to market forces, came down and filled the gap. I mean, shorter term, you got a quad bottom here, just under 140, resistance at 144. I mean, history tells you that you bought this thing up here in June of 21 and you got smoked. I mean, you bought it in July of 19 here, you got smoked. You bought it in March, February of 20, you got smoked. So not really history looking on the side. The only thing I'll say, no, I do not own IBM. And no, neither Dennis or I own IBM. No, the only thing that I could say, and they've made we did a little research on this. They've made like what 200 purchases over, every purchase has been a bad purchase. Every stock repurchase has been a bad repurchase. But maybe this Red Hat, right? They bought that in 19. We thought they overpaid. Maybe they're getting out of like, okay, we're not using mainframes anymore, right? We're not using where we need to go into the cloud. So
Mm-hmm.
that's that. I mean, that's just a bunch of jumble here, but you do got a quad bottom to lean on if you're so inclined, and maybe break out above 144. So we'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
Another thing is consistent earnings too. I wanted to point that out. One thing that I could take a look at is that you see here, and where do you see red? I only see one, and that's going back, well, two. And that's going back 2 quarters out of this is like 8 years here of earnings here on this one page here. So that's what I like to see, at least right now.
What about
We'll
the
definitely,
revenue growth? What about the revenue growth? Because
yeah.
that's the thing. They always beat. I mean, they need, and then this is the thing, and this is why I dumped my Twitter. Like, come on, you can't make over $1 billion. It's like they never grew the revenue. So for IBM, it's always been lagging on the revenue. That big, like if they come out and say, yeah, we're gonna do much better and we're raising guidance, but it's always been like they always manage to cook the books and look okay on the EPS, but it's just been the growth that hasn't been there. And I mean, IBM and growth. I mean, I almost feel like I shouldn't even be saying the same kind of words, but are putting them in the same sentence. But there's your IBM. Maybe they'll do some commercials or something. What was that? what was that thing they had? They used to have those. It's probably before your time. Another new high in the S&Ps, folks. 38, 33.50. I'll bet a wood and nickel here. We see that Wednesday's high at 38.40.
All right, let's go to Meta. It's down today, actually on a strong tape, and it's interesting.
Yeah.
They're cutting. Meta cuts higher targets after warning of fierce headwinds, and that was reported. Joel caught it this morning. We didn't get to touch it too much, but man, Meta's still battling here. I just don't know about this company right now. It's a hard one to even call the bottom on.
Yeah, it hasn't done any good, I'd say, for you meta traders out there. You did not make a new low of the move. That was 55 and a quarter. You got to 55. So technically speaking, okay. Not a bad, old things considered, opened up, hit the low, came back. So I wouldn't lean on any more than the 55. 150.83 is your next monthly low. I just, you guys know I'm not a huge believer in the, like the metaverse and these kind of things. And when a company tells you, it's going to take until 2030, well, I'm not going to stick around and find out if it works. So, never been a fan of the stock. Name change working against it too.
All right, let's keep it going with some headlines on out there. Let's go towards the next ones. Let me just take a quick look. If even it's still down on the day, but we can. I'm really quickly. We didn't get to touch it in the morning, so let's go towards the Chinese EV names. We'll run right through them here on their deliveries. NIO delivered 12,961 vehicles, its best ever total. First result. Actually, they haven't released over this number since 10,000 since December of last year. So it was a good result here. And you can see it looks like the stock's still going down. Looks like you got that T on there. What are we looking at?
Oh, I'm sorry. Someone asked me about that this morning.
Little dividend action.
Yeah, I got this pig too. It's another pig I own. I buy it for the
Hey,
dividend. They cut the
this is a good
dividend.
pig. This is a
Yeah.
pig that pays.
Yeah.
There's not many pigs that pay,
I'm sorry. What was all right, so these EV makers, I mean,
Yeah,
it's so
tough. It's
tough,
tough.
man.
It's tough.
I don't know who the winner is going to be. What you were talking,
And
Lucid?
well, we were
Yeah.
going NIO here.
NIO?
Yeah, NIO with their deliveries. And then let's just quickly, we'll run through it so that we at least touch the topic and you guys know about it. So also XPEV delivered actually more vehicles than NIO. They delivered 15,295 vehicles. That was up 133%, and still down also too, right? And so LI also delivered 13,000. And this is where I start. They delivered 13,024 of their SUV. And this is when I start getting a little bit concerned because, I mean, you seem really good numbers, but then you saw that research report put out on NIO about cooking books. And it just starts getting that question again in me. I was thinking about making some investments in some of these Chinese names, but it really quickly starts getting me a little bit worried, at least on the inside.
I mean, those numbers that you just gave me, I mean, you're going to get, I just can't get excited about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I just, I could produce more cars out of my garage than that, with the help from my mechanic down the street that can fix everything.
I see you, Joe.
I'm just not impressed. I can't invest in these stocks. I'm not buying them. I got a little piece of Tesla. I don't even know from pre-split. I don't even know what it is. I'd love to sell it, but whatever, just hold on to it. So I paint these with a broad brush, and I just don't, they've had a nice move. I would tell you, your LI traders, if you guys are playing the momentum here, keep a close eye on $36. You had a pair of lows right there at 36.15, 36.16, 36.32 today. Under that, forget it. Forget about 35. Forget about 34. So play it close to the belt. I mean, it's been up here before. China's been strong, right? The China market has been strong, so that's helping it. Look at BABA coming back up to the top of the trading range. Yeah, it just and we got, I want to talk about Tesla here for a second. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that knows that Musk hasn't tweeted since June 21st. Yeah, I looked.
Mm.
Yeah, what do you think
Yeah,
about that?
I was actually thinking about taking maybe a little swing on Tesla with the market coming up like this, but man, I think Elon is getting probably put to kind of ease. He's getting put to take it easy, take it easy. We saw out there that someone got fired in Tesla because they started. Oh no, it was SpaceX. Let me get that correct. It was SpaceX because they started putting out a letter like that we don't like the way that Elon Musk was like just being, with the radical canter. And shortly after that, you started seeing him go away a little bit from the Twitter side. He had a meeting at Twitter. Then he also kind of went quiet. I think this is just more along battles to try to bring that Twitter price down a little bit. And I think there's going to be something coming out of this in a little while. But hey, he also had a birthday. What if he just went on a vacation, Joel?
I I
He did have a birthday, right? I
I'm
mean,
not long it and I'm not short it, but I think the next tweet out of him is gonna be, "I'm done. I'm out." I mean,
I'm
I
out.
really, yeah. I don't.
Hey, it could be. It could
Yeah.
be. I mean, with the
Yep.
silence has been there.
Yep.
Out of what though? Out of Twitter or Tesla? Ooh, the
Oh.
question is on. The question is
I
on.
think Twitter. I don't think
You
Tesla.
think?
I think you'll stick with Tesla. But who knows? I mean,
Who
it's
knows?
you could speculate. Spoos couldn't reach that 38.40. It looks like I'm gonna lose a wooden nickel there. We still have 7 minutes to go. We got the 38.33.50 backing off a little bit here on this Fourth of July trading.
All right, we could take a quick look at GM, but I'll throw it to the chat. What do you guys want to take a look at today? You got utilities up big, consumer cyclicals, but pretty much everything up. Oil did catch a bid there towards the end, but I don't know how I'm feeling too much about energy right now. But
Uh,
GM, of course, put a scare into us this morning with the pending news halt. I think some people were maybe preparing for the worst, but I mean, it was pretty bad. But I mean, I think we've heard comments about this in the auto industry. They did talk about how in the wholesale volumes were impacted by the timing of certain semiconductor shipments and other supply chain disruptions. They also mentioned that a total of 95,000 vehicles in their inventory were manufactured without certain components. But I talked about this on Stock Market Movers. I mean, it 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 was talked about like, we first got Toyota to wave the red flag. They were like, yo, we're having material issues, supply chain issues. And then right after that, Tesla also gave us warnings. I think it's just continuing down the line here as you're getting more and more mentions of concerns about materials and supply chains still being an issue.
yeah. Yeah, I'll let the market shake this out for me. 4-day losing streak appears to be ending in GM. If you had the wherewithal to try and buy yesterday's low at 31.41, you got filled. Took 15 cents worth of heat. If you decide to take profits at yesterday's high, 32.74, you got executed to at 31.88. So the market's digesting the information. Not a bad volume day. Volume picked up yesterday when it got smoked. So I would say, short term, clear 33, clear those pair of highs, establish a bid over 33, then I could get a little bit bullish on this. On the other hand, you breach that the pair of lows at 31.30, 35. Why not test the low of the move? So that's what I'm looking at. Not an inside day, but kind of like just an outside day that you almost want to call an inside day.
All right, let's see what the chat wants to take a look at. See if we can take a look at old AMD. Looks like it's mentioned in the chat. We could take a look at that.
AMD. You think that's going back to a buck?
Oof, it's gonna take a little while.
Yeah. Oh boy, the chips are down. Wow, you did some damage here.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, this is
this week it's
this
down
is
like
old.
15%.
Yeah, this is damage on the monthlies here. Well, I guess you can call it. No, not the damage yet. I guess I was thinking 80 was more the line in the sand. But man, you got a lot of monthly lows in here. 72.5. I see 73.86. What's the low today? The low today is 72.69. I mean, maybe if you want to play it for a short-term bounce, yeah. But man, that's a bad-looking chart, and you got hit on the Micron news. I mean, they're independent companies, a little bit different, but that's a bad day. That's a bad week. That's 5 red candles. You're really gonna be fighting the overhead supply here in this moving forward. Just for the week. I mean, it closed last week at 87.08, lost $14. There's some people buried in that one where it's been successful buying the dip.
We'll see what happens here towards the close. We got about 3 minutes left. I don't want to get too negative here, so I want to kind of maybe wrap it up. We'll look at a stock here, maybe mentioned in the chat, but I wanted to ask Joel a question here. I wanted to say, so Joel, what's your kind of favorite kind of freedom song that you can remember, or maybe one that comes just to mind? I'm putting you on the spot a little bit here.
No, you're not. I mean, there's several, but I mean, it's
what
in
do
the
you
word.
like?
It's in the word. And it's actually one of my favorite songs of all time, and it's probably one of the most popular songs of all time. Freebird.
I like it. I like it. I like your mention. And why not? You know what? It's that kind
Do
of.
you want to hear? You want to hear a quick story?
Yeah, tell us the story.
This is a good one. This is a good one. This is going back a while. I was in Sea Island, Georgia, with my family, and my buddy Ira was down there, and we were golfing, and in a golfing trip and family trip, and my buddy and I decided to head into town, right? Check out what was going on in town, and Ronnie Van Zant was playing at a local bar, and we're listening to him. He's doing, his brother was the lead singer, and before the tragic plane crash, and he goes, and I want to give a shout out to Leonard Skinner, and they were named after their gym teacher, and he was there. And like my buddy and I, we turn around, we go to the back of the room, and there's this big burly guy, big old ponytail, and we're like, you're Leonard Skinner? He's like, yeah. And we were like, well, he goes, I go, what was it like? He was their gym teacher. And we're like, well, what were those guys like in high school? And he goes, they caused a lot of trouble. So that was it. That's when I met Leonard Skinner. And Freebird is one of my favorite songs all time. But let's wrap it up here. We're going to get in trouble again, Mitch.
I'm going for it. I don't care. Throw everything out. Let's go for it.
I'm going to get fired.
Let's
fired
ride,
now for sure.
baby. Happy
That's going to be our third
4th.
Google find this week, man.
They're coming for us, but guess what? I'm not afraid of them, Joel. I'm not afraid of them at all. It's Freebird, guys. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Have a hell of a weekend. Enjoy your families. I know Joel will do the same, and I will. And take care, guys. Have a great one.